Okay. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to yet another session. Today is going to be really interesting for all of you. And we're also about to go live on YouTube just in a while. So if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a hi on the live chat. If you are interacting with us on Zoom, I'm just going to be opening up the chat box for you. Just leave us a hi. My name is Aparna. I'm going to be your host today. And we're going to be learning how you can develop a food delivery app live from our expert. I'm going to introduce her very soon to you. People on YouTube, just leave us a hi on the chat. People on Zoom, yes, you're able to hear me, see me. Great. Very good. Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you so much for giving your giving your messages. So quick introductions and just how the session is going to go. I'll just quickly introduce myself, introduce Simplylearn to you, introduce our speaker, and then she's going to explain it live. She's going to show you a live demo of how a food delivery app is built using MERN. And after that, we'll be talking about our program, full stack MERN developer program. And I'm going to be explaining you the enrollment steps, and then we'll have the Q&A. That's how the session is going to go. In case you just joined, yes, all of you know the drill already. Quickly give me your name and the city that you're from, preferably the city. This is a global webinar, so we have people joining in from all across the world. My name is Aparna, and I am joining from Bangalore. So we have someone from Ghana. Please leave your names. Yes. Wisdom from Nigeria. Anthony from Kenya. Nice to have you guys. Shubhangi from Pune. Welcome. Mike from Nigeria. Welcome. People on YouTube, I hope you're able to hear us, see us. Just leave us a hi if you can. Yes, you're from. Okay. That's great. Okay, Kalyani from Pune. Welcome, Kalyani. Caleb from Uganda. Nice to have you. Yes, people have just joined. We're looking for introductions. Just leave your name and the city that you're from, and people on YouTube. Yes. Yeah. Okay, Smita from Bhubaneswar. Nice to have you, Smita. Yes, who else is here? Chirayu from Maharashtra. Larry from Accra, Ghana. Good day to you guys. Kevin from Kenya. Okay, just quick introductions on the chat box. People on YouTube, Licious, welcome to the session. He's joining us from YouTube. It's going to be a prototype, Khwaja. Atul, you're from Uttar Pradesh. Nice to have you, Atul. Joram from Kenya. Komal from Pakistan. Good evening. Okay, Lichis Cosmos from Tokyo. Nice to have you guys. Aniket from Satara. Interesting places, all of you. Great. Great. So like I said, this is how the session is going to go. You are going to understand how you will you will be able to develop a food delivery app using MERN. And Shalini Mittal is our speaker today. I'll introduce her to you very soon. And then we'll understand how the full stack MERN stack developer is going to help you become a MERN stack developer. And then I'm going to help you understand the enrollment steps in the program, and then we'll come to the Q&A. Okay, so quick ground rules before we start. I'm sure all of you are familiar. Most of you are familiar with the steps here, but still, you will put your questions on the Q&A box. Remember, the Q&A box is different from the chat box that you're interacting with me here. So that's where Shalini will be able to see your questions and answer them as and when there's time or towards the end of the session. Your questions will be answered. You can be rest assured. The session is being recorded. So let's say you miss something, there's something goes wrong with your network. Do not worry. You will be receiving the recording link with your certificate later. Okay, so we'll collect your names towards the end of the webinar. I'll launch a poll on Zoom, and that will be available on the screen. You just have to enter your full name and then you'll receive your certificate. So you can share this certificate on LinkedIn or any social media platforms and also tag our expert in case you want to showcase the proof of attendance. Yeah. So if the ground rules are clear, just give me a quick thumbs up on the chat. It's like what you see on the slide. A quick thumbs up on the chat, please, if you have understood. And make sure you keep your discussions relevant to what's going on in the session so that the other learners are not getting distracted. Okay. Remember, if you have questions, please put it on the Q&A box. You don't have to put it again and again. You just put it once and remember it will be answered. Okay. Yeah, great. Thank you so much. Also, people on YouTube, Adil, welcome to the session. If you're clear with the ground rules, just a quick thumbs up will help. Yes. Okay. Amazing. Amazing. Great. Good. So now that all of you are clear, let's get started. I'm just going to introduce Simplylearn to you. Simplylearn is world's #1 online bootcamp, and we empower people with digital skills across different domains. Software development is just one of the many domains that we have these courses in. So if you want to know more about our courses, just head on to simplylearn.com. You'll find a host of courses across all of these domains that you see. So we've touched more than 5 million careers worldwide, and we have students from across 150 countries. Okay, so we've got a lot of global accreditations and also more than 800 qualified trainers. Okay, so these are trainers that are involved in coaching you with these skills. And we're going to have one expert speaker today who is going to help you understand how you can build a food delivery app on using MERN, right? So does that sound interesting to you? You're going to understand how you build an app from scratch. Does it sound interesting? Give me a quick yes on the chat. Yes, yeah, a big yes by Chirayu. In fact, I am also excited and eager to learn how that happens. Yeah? Yes. Great, 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 great. Great. So Shalini is going to help you understand this. Shalini comes from immense expertise in the software development field. She's got over 14 years experience in training and development in the software development sector. And she's trained for companies that are various Fortune 500 companies, right? So she is immensely passionate about teaching and mentoring, and she's also a YouTuber. She's also a mentor for many of our courses in Simplylearn. So Shalini, over to you for just a quick introduction.
Thank you so much, Aparna. Thanks so much. And hello and a very good evening, good morning, good afternoon, your locations, and welcome to this exciting session on MERN stack. Aparna, would you mind stop sharing the screen? If possible. Sure. Thank you so much. So welcome everyone. Now, before I start, won't take much of your time. My introduction is already given by Aparna. And my LinkedIn profile is there. You can go ahead and look more about my professional career there. Let's quickly start with our session today. So you all have joined this course with the topic MERN. Can someone tell me the full form of MERN? Quickly, in the YouTube chat or the Zoom chat. Okay. MongoDB, perfect. Okay. Mongo, Express, React, Node. That is perfect. Wow, I have a good audience over here. Nice. So let me quickly get started. I'll share my screen. Do let me know if my screen is visible to all. First, we will see what we are going to develop. Then we will see the 4 layers of MERN, Mongo Express React Node. Where do they pitch in our application creation? And then I also have a question for you all. So, no, I haven't yet shared. Hold on. Okay, now is my screen visible to all? Yes. So this is what we are going to develop. We are going to develop a simple website. Of course, it's not complete. That's for you all to complete it later. But the thing is, you can see the various food items that is available at my restaurant for sale. Okay. So just some images, some text, some categories, ratings, a read more button. It is not clickable yet, but a read more button which you can click and you can go to a dedicated page of a particular item. So this is what we are going to develop. Now, if I want to develop a website, what languages do I use? Anyone? Yes, it is a dynamic website. That is exactly correct. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? So, exactly. So we are going to use HTML, which basically provides with the content to be added. We use CSS for designing. So you can see there are some colors, there are alignments, the way the grid is created, the way the items are arranged. It is all done using CSS, right? And then we have JavaScript, which basically allows with dynamism. So when I click on the button, what should happen? When a particular web page loads, if something needs to be downloaded from somewhere. So again, validations, any interactions with the customers, any search queries that you may have, for all those things, we use JavaScript. Okay. Now, when you write a code in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, I have used simple CSS. I haven't used Tailwind or Material UI right now. It is a simple bootstrap library. Khwaja Tahir. Okay. Now, when you develop a website using JavaScript, this particular website, okay, tell me, designing this website using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, how many lines of code would you have ended up writing? Any idea? Just this simple one page. 400 lines of code. Okay, fine. So 400, 800, at least 1,000, only 25 lines of code. Only. That's it. And the website is done and dusted. Yes. Why is that possible? If I was using JavaScript, I would have definitely written at least 400 lines of code. Exactly, Nani Pranay. It is because we are using a React, which is a library. So what we are here for, the live demo on MERN. Okay. I have explained you about this part, that is React, which is basically used, that allows us to combine HTML, CSS, and JavaScript all in one. And just 25 lines of code as a developer. Believe me, those 400 lines of code, React is writing for you. That's the reason you have to learn a library or a framework. That's with the React part. Okay, now, as a restaurant, can you tell me, see, I want to grow. So I will be adding more items to it, right? So tomorrow I can add, say, drinks, I can add desserts, I can add more starters, I can go with non-vegetarians, I can add continental, I can add Italian, I can go on with different flavors and different categories, right? What do you think, from where all this content is coming? Any suggestions? The data will change, the images will change. No, marketing comes in later. We are still in the designing part, right? Yes, from the back end. That's what is your M for. M is MongoDB database. Okay. So Where is my database? If I show you, see, veg seekh kebab, paneer chili dry, veg Manchurian dry. You can see this category, rating. If you see my MongoDB, here is the data. See, this is the data. Now, this data is being made available on the front end. Okay. Now, how is this possible? How that data, which is in the database, is basically made available to the React application, and then React is basically showing up on the web page. That's exactly where your Express and your Node.js comes into picture. That's exactly where these two layers come into picture. Okay. So what's happening is you have your data in the database. What we are using? We are using MongoDB database. That's the M over there. Your data is stored here. Now, this is just data. Like, for example, you have a warehouse. In the warehouse, our items are stocked. Okay. Now, as a customer, I will not go into warehouse. Now, I want a shoes. Okay, fine. So Nike will say, okay, this is my warehouse. Go ahead. No. Warehouse, that's exactly what database is. The data is stored. And there is a web page which is being accessed by a customer. So as a customer, I go to a website, swiggy.com, zomato.com, or any of the websites. I go on the websites and I'm able to see all the list of products available by that restaurant, list of items, go through it, read about it, see the reviews, comments, and based on that, I can place an order, right? Now, because I want to develop the web page and show the data on the web, and we understood that creating a website requires you to know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. For JavaScript, we are using a library called as React. That is where your R stands for in your MERN stack. So M is done, R is done. Now, the problem with JavaScript is JavaScript for security purposes is not allowed to communicate directly with the database. JavaScript, which is running on the web page, working on the web page, creating content for the end customer. JavaScript running on the browser is not allowed to communicate directly with the backend. What we need someone in between. So this is the retail store, you can say. So this is the warehouse of the Nike. Now the Nike has various retail branches. In the retail store, right? So the retail store is going to fetch data from the database and it is going to show it on the web page. So this middleware, this middleman sitting, which is providing communication for the data stored in database to your web page, this can be created. So I can have multiple retailers. Retailers can be of different kinds, different locations, right? And nothing else. So they are same. So Khalja, if I say backend and database, they're almost the same. So anything that works in the back is a part of a backend. Okay. Now, this particular middleman is also working in the back because it is providing the data from the database to the front end. So what a customer sees is the front end. What the customer doesn't see is the backend. Now, for the data to be fetched from database, which is again working behind the scene. So it is a part of the backend. To fetch the data and give it to the React, we need a middleman. Now, this middleman can be created via different languages. So we have Java, we have Python, we have .NET, and so on and so forth. JavaScript community thought, as a JavaScript developer, if I want to design a middleman, I have to learn Java. I have to learn Python. I mean, it's a thorough transition of my career from JavaScript to Java. And it's not easy. It's not a cakewalk. Okay. Ryan Dahl. So there is a guy whose name is Ryan Dahl. He came up with the concept of something called as Node.js. Advantage, you are already a front-end developer. You know Node.js. You know JavaScript. It's very easy to learn Node.js. And Node.js works in between. So That is what the N, MERN. Okay. So using Node.js can communicate with the database, fetch the data from database, and send that data to the React application to work on the data, process the data, and display on the web page. The way you use React, which decreases your 400 lines of code to 25 lines of code, we use Express.js as a framework over Node.js. That is where your MERN completes. So you use the Express.js framework, which basically fetches data from the database and sends that data, or we use a technical term called as exposes that data over a REST API. These are technical terms. I know not everyone will be from technical background. It's totally okay. Do not worry about it. I'm not going to explain everything in details right now. It's kind of a quick demo and a quick overview. Once you join the sessions, definitely everything will be deep dived for you. Okay? Any questions? Yeah, call I guess got it. Perfect. I have explained that. So now if you see Node.js, so I haven't used Drizzle, so I'm not aware about that, Nisar Ahmed. Okay. Now, the data was here. It is displayed on the web page, and you can see it is exposed, yes, over a REST API, and see, this is my REST API. This is the Node.js running on port 3000, which is exposing all the data. And my React application is actually communicating with this Node.js application to get the data. Okay, so this is what we are going to develop. So let's go ahead quickly. So I'll go ahead. My database is already there. So if you want to see how the data is created, so you will be having a MongoDB database installed. Either you can use the CLI like this, the shell, MongoDB shell, or you can download MongoDB Compass online, and you can start from here. You can create a new database. So say, for example, I do that just to show you. I won't be creating all the data, but if I say here show DBS, you would see all the databases exactly the same as you have over here. Okay. Now LMNOPQRS. Now I don't have a database with the name as Simplylearn. So if I go ahead and I create a database with the name as Simplylearn, and I give a collection name as items, and I say create database. Okay. Now, if the database is created Simplylearn, I go over here. I don't see Simplylearn. I again say show DBS. Can you see Simplylearn here? It wasn't there previously. Okay. So either you can use MongoDB Compass or you can use MongoDB Shell. It doesn't matter. It works the same. Yes, you can use jQuery in MERN stack. I'm sorry. Okay. So this is a database that's created. And this is the collection that is items. So in my case, I had the food app database, which has the items, and all the items were over here. So if I go ahead and I say use Simplylearn, because this is the database where I want to create the data, I can say db.items.insert, and I can insert data. So I can say ID is 1. I can say the item name, say for example, pizza. I'll just add 2 attributes and I complete. Okay, so I did not close. Insert. If I go here under items, see, it is correct. So this is how I have created the food app database, where the items is a collection which has the collection of items. Any questions here? I can continue. Okay. Now, You can see the recording for the steps to be repeated. If time permits, I'll do it at the end. Make sense? Thank you so much. So I'll create node food app. I'll open the integrated terminal over here. I have already installed Node. Yeah, we will give the source code. Don't worry. Okay. The source code will be given. Aparna will take care of that. Okay, Khawaljit, I'll do that a bit later. Okay. Now here, my node is installed. To check, I can say node-v. That basically showcases the version of the node that I have installed. I'm going to say npm init-y. This is basically going to create the structure for my application. Here, I'm going to install some libraries. So I would say npm install express, npm install nodemon. I will also need cores and I will also need mongoose to connect to database. Okay. Once I do this, you would see here the dependencies which I have installed, express, nodemon, cores, and mongoose will appear. Meanwhile, it does that. I'm going to create one more folder for React because it takes time for the packages to be created. Okay, I'll go here again. And from here, I'm going to execute a command npx create React app and food app. Okay, that. So this will take some time for it to create. So I'll just leave it. We will come back over here. You can see dependencies, cores, express, mongoose, and nodemap. It's created. Now I go inside the node. I create a new file with the name as index.js. In my package.json, I'm going to add one more script that will be start, and I would say nodemon index.js. What will this do? This is going to basically start up your application. Okay. So, I mean, when I create a Node.js application, the server has to start. So we will create a server and we are going to start the server. So that's what this command is going to do. Now in my index.js, to be able to create a simple application, first let's see a simple one. I'm going to say const express equals to, now this is Node.js syntax. I'll try to explain whatever I can, but not too much in depth. Now, Express is a framework which we discussed, using which we are going to create our REST APIs. I'm going to get the reference of the Express. So I say const app equal to Express. Now, once I do this, I'm going to create a simple REST API endpoint, which will be slash, and it is going to get a request response. App.js, you're talking about in React. This is Node. Okay. We'll come to React a bit later. I haven't yet. Now in my app.get over here, request response, and I'll say response.send hello world. A simple one. And then I have to start my server. So I will say, please start the server and listen on the port 3000. And once it is done listening, just if it gets started, print a message, server started. Now with this, if I go ahead and I say npm start, okay, 3000 is already in used, 3002. Because my application is already running, right? It says 3000, it's running over here. Hence it said it's running. Now if I go ahead and say localhost 3002, see hello world. So when I made a request on 3002 slash, I got hello world. Okay. Now I want to connect to database. So for connecting to the database, I will say const mongoose equal to require mongoose. Okay. Now, once I added mongoose, I need to connect. So I would be saying mongoose dot connect. Now, where is my database running? If you would see localhost 27017. So this is what I check for. So I go over here and I say connect to the MongoDB database running on localhost 27017. And what is the name of the database? That is food app. Okay, so I'm just trying to link what I'm using it over there. Now, once this is done and dusted, I need to check whether my node was able to connect to the database. For that, I'm going to get a reference of connection and I'm going to say db.if you get an error. In that case, and connection error. Okay. So while connecting to the database, if there is an error, what needs to be done? If it got connected to the database even at least once, and if it was open, then I'm saying now the moment I'll save, I'm using NodeMon. NodeMon is watching for any changes in index.js. Yeah, connected to DB. Okay. Those details, hold on to it. If time permits, I'll explain the use of bind and all because that's advanced JavaScript. Okay. So you need to know JavaScript to be able to understand the bind function. So my database is connected. Yuppie, done and dusted. So first step is over. Now I need to connect. I need to fetch the data. So the way we do it with Mongoose is, we need to first create a schema. So I would be saying item schema equal to new mongoose dot schema. And I'll come back to this particular part a bit later. Even if you don't write anything, as of now, it will work. But it is required when you do, say, for example, you want to add new items, update an item, then there are a few things that you have to do inside a schema. But we will do it a bit later, not required for now. And then I have to, so schema is nothing but the structure of the data that you are getting. So what's the structure of the data? Structure of the data is it has an ID, name, category, rating, price, IMG, quantity, and description. Okay, that is the structure of the data. So that is what schema does. Now, once the schema is created, I need to tell, okay, fine, to the mongoose that go ahead and fetch data from the collection whose name is items. Where is this items? Over here. Okay. So I'm saying fetch the data from the collection items and it has to map it with the item schema. And once it maps with that schema, give me the model. Now, at this part, I'm going to copy so that we just save time because there's nothing much over there. Now, the thing is here you would see this is the schema. So ID is there, name, category, rating, price, the type of the data, and whether it's required or not. Okay. Quantity. So you can see ID, name, price, category, IMG, quantity, description. So I'm telling what is the schema, what is structure of my data coming in from the database. It has to map with that schema from the data coming from this collection and give me the model. Now, once this is done, I'm going to say app.get/items. And this is going to be a async operation. And then I would be saying try fetching the items from the database. So item dot find. Once it gets the item, return the status code that is 200 and return the JSON, the items as a response in the JSON. Okay. And if there is an error, then catch the error and maybe I'll just print the error message. Fine. Now, once this is done, I go ahead in the browser and I say /item. So everything is fine. I should get the data. Done. So Node.js was able to communicate with the database, get the data, and return as a response in the URI that is localhost 3002/items. Okay. Now, once this is done, I'm going to keep this running because if the server is not running, the front-end React will not be able to fetch the data. Now, I will go to React. The package is created. First and foremost, in index.html, I'm going to add bootstrap links. I'm going to add bootstrap links. So let me go ahead and copy the So this is a bootstrap link, which you will see the moment I start using in my applications. So this is done. This is our application that's running. And now in my React application, app.js, I'm going to delete everything that's there. So if I show you npm start, this is the view. Now I'm going to delete all of those. And I'm going to use bootstrap container. And now I want to fetch the data that is exposed by the Node.js. To do that, I'm going to create an empty array. I'm going to use a use effect, which is basically used to fetch the data. Okay, and I need to import, otherwise it won't work. Use effect and use state. Okay, otherwise my server will complain. Now in my use effect, I want to fetch the data from this URL, which is exposed by my node. So I say fetch the data from this URL. And once you get the response, give the JSON data from there. And once you get the JSON data, set the items with the items. Oh, sorry, set the items with the data. Okay. Use effect is where it is used to do a asynchronous call because it's fetching data from somewhere. Use state is used to maintain the state for that particular project, this particular app.js, because what is the state? The UI has to show the items, right? So items is the state for this web page. That is where the use state is used. Now here, if I don't do anything, and I would say if items is available and items dot length is greater than 0, then just simply stringify items. Let's see. Okay. Fail to fetch. If I go back here and if you see the console, here you would see an error blocked by CORS policy. A front-end application is not allowed to directly communicate with the backend unless the backend gives that permission. On purpose, I did not add that because I wanted to show you the error. And now in Node.js, because it has to allow React to communicate with the data. So I will have to say, I will have to enable the CORS. So I had installed the CORS library and I would be saying app.use CORS. There is my app. I'll have to do it after the app. App.use CORS. Perfect. Okay, no changes over here. This will work. I go back here. I refresh this. Now you can see the data is available. Of course, this data doesn't make sense. It has to be decorated and displayed properly. That's exactly where you would be using Bootstrap and all the HTML tags to create your data. So now this part I'm going to copy. Otherwise, I won't be able to answer your queries. Okay. So here, so I just wanted to show you that the connectivity is there. From database, your Node.js is fetching data. From Node.js, your React is able to fetch the data. We saw that. Yes, data is there. Now, I just want to display it. Okay. So this is again HTML. So I create different divs. I create a card. I specify the image to be displayed. So if we go on, see. Done. I told you, na, you won't write 800 lines of code or 400 lines of code. See in React, done. It's now you can have 100 items in the database, 500 items in the database. You don't have to you don't have to change a single line of code over here. You don't have to do that. You just go and add one more data in the MongoDB. You can easily do that. So you can just go ahead. Suppose I add a data. Uh, and so I'll say ID 11. I can say name pizza. I can say category main course. I can add some description. I can add a rating and I say insert. Done. I have the 11th record inserted over here. I go back to the browser here. So you don't see pizza right now. I refresh. See. I guess description TSCRIPTION. So description should have come. But I mean, yeah, that's how it is. Okay. So that's about I'm just hoping if I add huge amounts, the description would appear. No. Pizza is awesome. Okay. Fine. So that is all with respect to the demo, which I wanted to actually show you all with the MERN stack, how they come in, how they communicate, and how they pitch it. I'll just take few questions and then I'll hand it to you, Aparna. Just give me a moment. I think I answered most of them though. What is the correct way to learn MERN full stack, madam? That's proper plan for beginners. Enroll with Simplylearn. You will get all the plans and everything. Don't need to go anywhere. Yes, the recordings will be shared. Front end pixel also wait go. Call it, that's okay. In 20 minutes, getting confused. If you are confused, well and good, I've done my job because you have to be confused. 20 minutes, I cannot give you the entire clarity of a complex application, right? Is it responsive? Yes, I showed you that. I added a new item and it was available. I didn't do any changes in the code, not a single line. Just I inserted a new entry in the database and it was there on the front end, right? I'm not using online code editor. I'm using VS Code. Why MongoDB, not SQL? That is how the MERN stack goes. It's not that Node.js cannot work with normal SQL. They both have their own pros and cons. Okay. So, will AI replace MERN full stack, madam? How to balance our work with AI? Learn AI tools, upgrade yourself. AI will not replace MERN. AI will speed up developing applications. It's more about that. So, I won't say, see, change is always difficult. Whenever a change comes in, it takes time for us as well to go ahead with the changes. So I would say embrace the change, see what's going on, and you have to be upgraded. You have to upgrade yourself to be in the market. So AI is coming. AI is there. Yes, it is. Will it be stopped? No, because companies are finding it advantageous. So just be with the market, learn AI. AI will not replace MERN. AI will just make creating applications a bit fast. That's all. So it's more about efficiency, it's more about performance, it's more about speed, it's more about less human intervention, it's more about that. I would have loved to show you an entire e-commerce application, sweetheart. Seriously, I'm telling you, log in, log out, card, billing, payment gateway, but I'm really sorry with the time constraints. Yes, some YouTubers were saying MERN stack is dead. I don't believe on that because I still teach React. Yes, every month almost I get a requirement for MERN stack. So at least for me, I won't say it's dead or it's being dead. Yes, it is. Migration is possible. Over to you, Aparna, I guess. I'll answer in the chat.
Sure. Just one more question, Shalini, that just came up on YouTube. How does it help in IoT? So Rishikesh has this question as to how MERN stack helps in IoT. If you can just answer that, and then I'll go ahead and talk about the goals. You are on mute, Shalini.
MERN stack helps in
IoT, Internet of Things.
IoT. No. IoT is different and MERN is different. They have different purposes and different use cases.
So there's
Don't mix up the concepts. No.
okay.
IoT is connected with hardwares and sensors and all that stuff. It's different. React is totally different.
Got it. Okay.
You can use React Native. If you would have asked me React Native,
Mhm.
yeah. So because with IoTs, you would be learning robotics or R language or Raspberry and all that stuff. And you would be communicating with sensors. And those sensors will be sending data to your mobile devices where you can be using React Native. But it has nothing to do with MERN stack.
Understood. Okay, great. So now that all of you have seen the demonstration of how a food delivery app is built, and I'm sure you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I found it intriguing, interesting, and I also learned something new. I hope you also took away something. And yes, some of you were asking about the source code. We'll share that hopefully along with the recording and the certificate, right? So now that you've learned it, let me ask this question to you. What is stopping you exactly from becoming a full stack MERN developer? Now, I have launched a poll on Zoom. You should be able to see that pop up on your screen. Just answer whatever is relevant. So, let's say you can't find a program that has a comprehensive curriculum, or you feel there's no practical exposure. You feel your work schedule isn't allowing you to balance studies and balance upskilling and work, right? Or you find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded lessons. You would want more such demos, more such live interactions with trainers. Whatever your reason is, put that on your answer. People on YouTube also can answer this. Just say 1, 2, 3, or 4 on the live chat. Okay. This is just for us to understand you better. Okay. Yes. Okay, just few more seconds, then I'm going to keep this live and also share this with our expert so that she's also able to see and understand what difficulties you have and what kind of difficulties you have in bridging your gap. Okay. Okay, great. So quick 10 seconds. All the others who haven't answered, please click whatever is applicable to you. I'm going to keep it live for exactly 10 more seconds. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. And do not worry, your questions will be answered. So just wait around for some more time while I finish talking about the program. Shalini will be answering these questions to you. Either she'll be directly answering them or typing them. So just wait around for some more time. Yes. Okay, great. So I'm also sharing these results for everyone to see. Shalini, I hope you're also able to see it. So most of you feel, almost half of you feel that you don't have the practical exposure you need to become a full stack MERN developer, right? And you feel that a similar kind of practical exposure is required. And if you had more such interactive sessions, it would be easier for you to upskill and bridge that gap and then eventually find a job as a full stack MERN developer, right? That's what you guys feel. Now, how do you exactly bridge this gap? This is why our course Full Stack MERN Developer helps. And now this course is in collaboration with IBM, and this is a 6-month long course. It is an intensive course. It will require your commitment, your willingness to learn, but also you are going to be easily able to balance it with work. So you have to dedicate just about 5 to 10 hours a week. There's comprehensive curriculum. All those who said you don't have a comprehensive curriculum, something that helps you learn MERN in depth, you don't have that. This course offers that. And we're going to explain that just in a bit. You're going to also have case studies, you're going to have hands-on projects and labs for you to gain that practical experience. And the best part is that you interact with your trainer live. And I'm going to show you how that will happen through our learning management system. You get to ask your questions, you get to take notes. There are also assessments for you to take. So all of these interactions happen with each module of the program, of the in-depth curriculum. And like I said, so all you need to dedicate is 5 to 10 hours a week for 6 months long. Okay. So just a quick introduction about what this curriculum offers. Shalini, if you could tell, what our learners can gain through this.
Yes, sure. So basically, if you enroll, you'll be learning the MERN stack, where you will be getting the entire flow from the backend to the front end to be able to be able to make you a MERN full stack developer. So there will be a strong MERN foundation. You will be creating a dynamic website the way you saw just now, a simple food app. But you have food delivery app, you have furniture rental apps, you can have air ticket apps, you can have n number of apps that you can develop. Many of them we provide, and you can also come up with your own ideas, and that's totally okay. So you will be designing a front end, learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React to be able to create a front end application with React. Moving on, yes, you will be going through a DSA session as well, because if you are looking for jobs in the companies, they also look for your logical and analytical capabilities, and that is where your DSA comes into picture. We also saw that for front end to communicate with database, we need a middleware, which is a part of back end. That is a Node.js and Express. And then definitely you'll be learning MongoDB database to fetch data from it. And And after you learn all these technologies independently, you will be creating mini projects independently. So React, one mini project, Node.js, one mini project, and then combining. So the way I show you the entire flow from the front end to the back end, you will be creating a capstone project because you learn React today. After 2 months or 3 months, you move on to Node.js. After 3 months, you forgot what you did in React. So capstone project will be one. First, it will help you to understand how the technologies integrate and communicate with each other. Second, it also helps you to refresh what you had learned 3 months back. And when you do a project, believe me, you learn a lot. You fail, you cry, you laugh, you get errors, you just want to give up everything, you get motivated, you get demotivated. But at the end of it, when it's created, done and dusted, and when you go to the interview saying that, yes, I have done maybe a dummy capstone project, but I know in and out of my project, the accomplishment that you feel is very different than when you don't do anything. So yes, that is something about the capstone project. You cannot use PHP instead of JavaScript. You can use PHP instead of Node.js. Yeah.
Right. Thanks, Shalini, for explaining the curriculum. Along with that, you also get one elective course that is offered by IBM, and you understand all about reactive architecture, what is exactly a microservice, and how do we make it reactive, right? So the skills that you gain through this particular program, I mean, you understand full stack development, you understand what web development is, you understand what database management is, like what Shalini showed today, right? So you gain all of these skills that are required for you to kind of bridge that gap. And along with this, the capstone project is that icing on the cake that gives you that practical exposure that you feel you don't have. Now, imagine that along with the expertise of your trainer, you kind of understand how to build a capstone project the right way. I mean, how to build an app or how to develop the right way. Instead of doing it all on your own by watching free lessons or free videos, it's better that someone is there to guide you through your mistakes, right? So just if you could also throw some highlight on the tools that the learners will learn, Shalini.
Yeah. So HTML we discussed, CSS we discussed, JavaScript, Express.js, Node, and MongoDB. Now you also need to, so in a project, it's always at a team works. It's not one individual. So when you're working in a project, say for example, one particular developer is working on a part of an application. So I'm working on login, logout. Someone else is working on payment gateway. Someone else is working on the card functionality. Someone else is working on the product management functionality, and so on and so forth. Now, when you do all this, you also need to be share the parts of the code that you are doing it to be able to integrate with other parts. And you need to also manage the project. That is where a Git comes into picture. That is a version management tool. Once you develop the applications and everything is done, you also need to automate the testing, compiling, and deploying of the applications. Maybe you want to deploy to AWS or whatever it is. That is where the Jenkins and the Docker comes into the picture. So Jenkins is which helps you to automate your entire deployment process, and Docker in integration with Jenkins. So it is possible to run your application on any platform using Docker as a tool. And AWS if you want to do it on a cloud platform. So that's where we call MERN full stack. When you hear the term full stack, it's not only MERN that you learn, you also learn the DevOps area, and the DevOps is the Jenkins, Git, AWS, Docker, and these tools that you learn. So that's about with all these tools.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Shalini, for that. So I'm sure you by now understand what kind of capstone projects you will be doing and how they are going to help you gain that real life experience so that you can showcase them in your portfolio, right? So you could choose capstone projects from various domains, and this will involve you to solve real world business problems. You'll be building apps or codes that will actually solve a business case, right? So that's the beauty of this program. You get all the theoretical knowledge that you need plus the practical exposure. Okay. Now, just to understand the whole picture about how a full stack developer is. Now, remember that software development is not going to be taken over by AI like some of you said. It is still in demand. There is a 35% annual growth from 2015 to 2024, in the last 10 years, right? And according to Indeed, there are more than 12,000 job postings available in India. And this is just in India, remember. The annual salary that a person draws, that a full stack developer draws, is 12 lakhs. This is again according to Glassdoor and all these websites. According to LinkedIn, you see that the growth is more than 35% per year. So you know that full stack development is here to stay. It's not going to be replaced. It is not going to go anywhere. Like you see, these needs, business needs are going to be created, and they need real people to create those codes, right? So an AI or any kind of system cannot really take over a human, take over the role of a human. So you don't have to worry about how this industry is going to get shaped up, okay? And to enroll in this course, all you need is a technical degree or any kind of equivalent to whatever you see here. No kind of work experience is required. If you have, great, but if you don't have work experience, if you're still a fresher and you're trying to get started in the world of software development, this course is the best one for you. Okay, so let's just, this is going to be your certificate, a quick summary of what you're going to get in this course. You're going to get hands-on projects along with integrated labs. You're going to have access to capstone projects along with interaction with your trainer, live interaction with your trainer, live virtual classrooms that actually look like this. Okay, actually, I can show you how that looks like. So if you can see my screen, this is how an LMS looks like, okay? So this is the exact same course, full stack developer, and these are your learning modules. So you can see that some of them are self-learning, some of them include labs, right? So here you go. If I just click on one particular module, you will be directed to that module, and you have an assessment towards the end. You are also able to see whatever sections or curriculum is there, and then you're also able to take notes. You're also able to ask for help if there's anything. This is what I was mentioning about practice labs. If you can see my cursor, this one. And towards the end of the course, after you are done with your capstone project, is when you unlock your certificate. Okay, so I mean, obviously you will need to complete a certain section of the curriculum along with the project to be able to unlock this. Yeah, so and this LMS is accessible to you after you have enrolled. After you are an enrolled user or a learner, you will be able to access this. Now, something additional to what you get along with the course is a career assistance program. What you get here is essentially just help on how you can build your resume and highlight it better to your prospective employers. And along with that, you also get 24/7 support, and that can include any kind of support. It can be asking whatever doubts you have regarding the course, or it could be about using the platform. It could be anything. So you get that support. And remember, this is 24/7, so you couldn't be in any part of the world and still you'll be able to receive this. Okay, so that's just about the program here. Okay, now with this, all this information that we just gave you, I would love to know if you will be interested to take up this course. So I'm just going to launch a quick poll again, asking you, would you like to enroll in this program? Now, if you are interested, just say a yes or a no. Okay, whatever your answer is, please make sure you choose that on the poll that you see on your screen. Yeah. And while we are launching this poll, I'm also going to help you understand the enrollment steps. Now, what exactly happens when you land on the course page is that your details are collected. And sorry, one second. I was just going to show you the course page as well. So your details are collected, and the learning advisor contacts you, explains you the course fee and how you can enroll, all of that. We also explain you the financing options. So if people are asking me about, fee structure, Pranay and Khwaja, you can find it on the course page. I will share the link to the course page in a while. Why we don't share the course fee here is that there are so many people from different countries. It's going to be hard for us to kind of share it in every currency possible. So you can find that on the course page. In fact, here. Yeah, if you just scan this QR code, it will lead you to the course page. Okay, so if you're interested, Ibrahim, I would request you to please click on yes, and that's how your interest will be captured and a learning advisor will contact you. Okay, so if you go to the course page also, you can fill in your interest there. There's no problem. It's just that if you click on here, it's faster. I mean, the learning advisor are alerted about your interest immediately. Okay, so that is why I launched this poll. You can select a yes if you are interested and check the course fee. But the upcoming cohort is on the 21st of November. That's just 20 days away. We only take limited entries, limited enrollment. So make sure you fill in your interest very, very soon so that your enrollment is done, your financing is done. Once your enrollment is done, you just have a quick introduction session and then your course cohort starts. Okay, is that clear? Yeah, thank you, Khwaja and Ibrahim, for your interest. Just make sure that you are selecting your answer on the poll. Meanwhile, if there are any more questions, let me see on YouTube. Okay, so okay, Jordan, thank you so much for your feedback. We did cover the core of the topic. If you have just joined, you could probably just scroll a little bit back to see and understand how a food delivery app is built, right? This course is again focused on MERN stack development only. So let's say you want to learn MERN stack development in depth. This course is for you, and that is why we thought we'd talk about this course. Yeah. Okay, let me just check the Q&A box for any more questions. I think Shalini has already answered most of the questions. There are no more questions that are to be answered. Uh, great. Anything else that you guys want to ask, you could reach out on askus@simplylearn.net. It could be about the course. It could be about, whatever we covered today. You can reach out to us there. Okay, and yes. I'm just going to end this poll. If there are any more interest, I'm just going to keep it live for 5 more seconds. I'm going to end this poll about the course interest. And quickly after this, I'm going to launch the poll that is going to ask you the certificate, the name for your certificate. Yeah, thank you, Jordan. So I'm going to ask you your full name. Please make sure you enter it, right? Here you go. Yes. Great. So that was Shalini for you thank you, Shalini, for giving your time and explaining how, a food delivery app is built. So Shalini is going to take her leave. I think there are no more questions to be answered. Yeah, Shalini, definitely.
Thank you so much, Aparna, and happy learning all of you. Bye-bye.
Right. Yeah. Great. So I've just launched the certificate poll where I've asked this question as to what your full name is. Please make sure you enter your full name properly. And yeah, so about half of you have already answered. Okay, here you go. Guys, don't put your name on the chat. We don't record the chat name, and I'm sending the link to the course here. This is the course that I was talking about. Okay, in case you missed it, this is the course page. Remember, I said that you could fill your details here, right? This is where you fill your details and then a learning advisor contacts you. But then if you have already expressed interest here, do not fill it again. There's no point. Someone will definitely contact you. But I've sent the link to the course page on the chat. Okay, I'm so sorry. I think it was a different course. For the MERN stack developer, it is here. Okay, great. Okay, I'm just trying to collect more names, as many names as possible. Please try to give in your name so that you don't miss out on your certificate. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Amazing. If where to give the name on the poll, Smita. Okay. Some people are not able to access the poll, so I'll just quickly launch the QR code to the poll as well. here you go. If you scan this, the poll will get launched and then you can give in your name. Okay. I'm just going to keep it open for the next 2 minutes. Yeah. If you are still having trouble, let's say you're not able to give your name, there is no problem. Just email us here. webinars@simplylearn.net for the certificate and the recording, nothing related to the course. The course and everything, ask us at simplylearn.net. This is only for your certificate recording, and some people wanted the source code. So we'll send that here, but I encourage you to kind of fill in your name on the poll so that this duplication does not happen. Okay, this is for practice, Jordan, just for understanding of how a MERN stack is developed. Okay, you should be able to see the poll, Sahu, Smita. You should be able to see that. I already have 70% of people answering the poll. So you should be able to see it on your screens. I'm not sure why. Just scan the QR code. You'll be able to access it. Okay. Okay, like I said, if you still have issue, you know what to do. Just email on webinars@simplylearn.net. Either way, if you have attended this session, your email is automatically recorded. Okay, the certificate poll is mostly for your name. That is why we have launched the poll. So if you send us an email with your name is also fine, but I request you to kindly fill in the poll. Okay, great. Thank you so much for attending this session and taking the time out to learn. I hope, like what Shalini said, I hope you had fun learning from the session, and I hope that you will make use of it, make use of these insights. And also, I hope to see you on the other side. Hope to see you in our programs. Okay, so thank you so much for joining in, and also people on YouTube, thank you so much for joining in on a weekday night to learn about MERN stack development. It is a slightly complicated concept. If you have stuck through this session all this while, kudos to you for having invested your time to learn. Okay, so I'm going to sign off now. I'll see you with another session.